Well, I had a problem with the garden. It looked to me like the seed either just was no good. Usually I get treated seeds, but I didn't this time. And so it's pretty much a bust. A few of the sunflowers came up, but mostly it's just weeds. So I'm gonna grab 78 and go out and grab the harrows and roll it under. First thing I'll do is check the oil. I just changed it, so I wasn't really worried about it. You know, it's rained up here for a while, but it's not mud. You know, it's a good. You can work with it. So. I spy a lamp. So there was some sunflowers that came up in places and a little bit of spotty corn, but I'm just gonna turn the whole thing under. And the reason being is I got this stupid rye I had put down as a cover crop about 4 years ago, and it keeps coming back really aggressive. And what it does is it reseeds itself and just doesn't go away. So we're gonna turn this whole field under right now. So as opposed to the 61 I had, this is a 78 with 15 horsepower, and it's got a lot more oomph, and everything's geared the same. It's really the same tractor, but they tweaked it up a little bit. They turned up the RPMs by 75, and I think the carburetor's changed. I think between the carburetor from being I'm not sure if it was an updraft or a downdraft and they went from one to the other, but between the carburetor and turning up the RPMs, this tractor's got a lot more than that 61 did, and I think I can turn this field under in second gear. So we're gonna open up the disc harrow here. This is a C-23, so it's a Cub 23 disc harrow. So it's a drag disc. It's complete, it works perfectly. It's got some nice patina on it, and you change the pitch of the harrows with the rope here, and that rope puts this lever in the cog, so we can open and close the harrows from the tractor seat. We've had I think it did a pretty good job. I slowed down and I opened up the harrows more so it had the most aggressive pitch possible, and I could hear my dad yelling at me to slow down, so I took it out a second and went into first, and I think it came out pretty well. One of the cool things you can do with a drag disc is close it all back up again and then go slowly around the field, and it's almost like using a cultipacker. Move it, Bert. So go slowly around, take out the ruts, that'll smooth out the field. So with it all closed up, I think it did a pretty nice job. I don't own a cultipacker, so I thought this might work, and it seems like it did. I'm actually pretty happy with it. I use it as aggressive as possible to turn the weeds under. And I closed her all back up, flattened out all the ridges. This will be the last pass through here. One of the funny things about Cubs, when you start talking about them, is this is a 78 International Cub. In the late 60s, they stopped saying Farmall, and the reason they used it International was because municipalities and schools and things like that were using the Cubs, and so they mostly were yellow. Last year you could get a red one. But if you start saying International Cub, people think low boy, they think Cub Cadet. So this is a high boy. It's not a high crop, it's just a regular, call it a high boy because it's not a low boy. So it's still a Farmall Cub. This is International Cub. Still call it Farmall because, like I said, if you call it an International Cub, people will get confused and think you're talking about a low boy or some other animal. But I do like this year Cub. It has the long stripe on it, the long blue and black stripe. That's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.